Hello, I am the director of MPL Search. We're going to start a short series of videos that are going to tell you a bit about our company, what we do, how we can help clients that we work with, how we can help candidates, so you can get a bit of a feel for what it takes to be successful and why it's an interesting job to do. So I founded MPL Search really with a view to fill a space in the market. I didn't think that there was anybody who was really focused on placing particularly graduate level candidates into the legal recruitment space. Lots of companies that place into lots of different sectors, but I wanted to specialise because I felt like it was an under-resourced part of the market and something that I know a little bit about. I've got a father who's been a solicitor for 30, 40 years and something that I would specialise in and be able to offer a good level of expertise in. Before I started MPL Search, I worked in recruitment for 15 years, recruiting for various companies from boutiques to global businesses across a number of recruitment sectors. So MPL Search was set up specifically to cater for legal recruitment, headhunting and executive search firms. Primarily those companies are based in London and we find candidates for those companies from anything from a graduate entry-level trainee up to partner or director level. So when we're looking for candidates, we are primarily looking at more junior candidates, although we do work with more senior candidates. So what do I mean by that? Well, I need generally candidates who have legal backgrounds. So they may have done a law degree, a GDL, an LPC. Sometimes they've done the bar course. Sometimes they've done a legal master's, but to some extent they've got a legal background. Equally, that could be that they've done law firm open days, they've done vacation schemes, or they've got work experience in a law firm. We'll also place people who are moving sector from law into recruitment. So, for example, we've placed people in the past who have qualified at top 50 UK law firms and are changing direction, wanting a new career challenge and moving into legal headhunting. There are a lot of law graduates out there who I think feel hamstrung by the qualifications that they've got. They feel that they've gone down a path where they've committed, whether it's 3 years for an undergrad or then maybe a GDL, maybe an LPC, and they feel like they have to go off and be a lawyer. And I just don't simply think that's the case. I don't think they should have to do that. I think those qualifications should give you opportunities and open up different avenues rather than dictate what you do in the future. So I think for somebody who has got that background, they're interested in law, but they don't necessarily want to be a lawyer, it can be a really good career path for somebody like that who still wants a job where they can make decent money, they can progress, they can do something that's really engaging, that's quite fast paced. They can be part of a business, they can be quite significant without having to go through fairly laborious training contracts or years and years of additional experience to get where they want to. Legal headhunting is quite different to other areas of recruitment. Most people, when they think of recruitment, they think of a high street recruiter, the temp agency, somewhere that has helped them get a job in university holidays or school holidays and things like that. This part of the market is completely different. The clients we work with are placing people who are generally associate, senior associate or even partner level solicitors working for US elite law firms, magic circle firms, silver circle firms, top 50 UK firms. So they're looking for a very different thing, and that means that the job is quite different. It's very, very consultative. It's very much low volume and high reward. So you're not making a placement every week. You're making a placement maybe once a month if you're very good. There are quite long lead times when you're working with candidates like that. Often you have notice periods that might be 3 months or 6 months. You have non-compete clauses that can make it quite complicated. So it can be slower, but the emphasis is on providing a really high level of service where you really understand your candidate and client. So it's a lot more consultative. So if you look at where lawyers work and how people get a job in law, you've obviously got the training contracts themselves that are done by the law firms. After that, you're obviously looking at newly qualified lawyers. Beyond that, associates, senior associates, partners. The major difference and the way that these firms work is that they won't look at junior vacancies. So the firms we work with, they're only placing at associate, senior associate or higher levels. So it's much more about quality over quantity. It's much more headhunt driven. They don't really use advertising. They're not finding candidates through social media. They have to be incredibly proactive to go out and find their candidates. So that's very different from a sort of database, volume-driven generalist recruiter who uses lots of other methods that are a bit more reactive. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. If that sounds of interest to you, the best thing to do is either send us an email, info@mplsearch.com, have a look on our website, which is mplsearch.com, obviously subscribe, like, and we'll have a chat with you about the opportunities we've got.